Today, we will discuss on verse number 54. And this is also very interesting. You know, one of my listeners over here wrote me that every day you tell this is very important class or very interesting class. It's not any marketing strategy, but you know, when I study and see lot of books, references, new direction comes, new meaning comes, new concept comes. And I feel, I rejoice within that, oh, what a beautiful slope. In one book, only one-sided commentary is there, you know. Whenever you will find so many acharyas things, and they are all great acharyas. So that is why, really speaking, before teaching, I feel rejoiced that what I have learned, the listeners should get that. Okay. Verse number 54. This is for deeper meditation. This is for deeper meditation. It will tell about the nature of Brahman. Yallavana labhaha. Yallavana labhaha. Yat sukhana param sukham. Yat sukhana param sukham. Yad jnanat na param jnanam. Yad jnanat na param jnanam. Tad brahmetyavadharayet. Tad brahmetyavadharayet. Together, little bit difficult it is to pronounce by following the pronunciation rules. Yallavana paro labhaha yat sukhana param sukham yad jnanana param jnanam tad brahmetyavadharay. Yat labhat. After doing sandhi, it becomes yalabhat. So yat labhat. Apart from the attainment of which na aparam labha. Na means no, apara means other, labha is attainment. Yat sukhat. Apart from the blessedness of which na param sukham, no other blessedness or happiness. Yat jnanat, apart from the knowledge of which na aparam jnanam, not other knowledge. Tat brahma, that Brahman, iti, thus avadharayet. You should realize it. So, my dear, oh my dearer, oh my dearest, realize that to be Brahman, the attainment of which leaves nothing more to be attained, the blessedness of which leaves no other blessing to be desired, and the knowledge of which leaves nothing more to be known. So, 54th sloka, prose order, if we see, yat labhat अपरः लाभः न अस्ति, यत् सुखात् अपरं सुखम न अस्ति, यत् ज्ञानात् अपरं ज्ञानम न अस्ति, तत् ब्रह्म इति अवधारय. After having gained, after having attained, when I no need, there is no need to get anything else, there is no desire is remaining. Desire to know also anything else. That is Brahman. If you know Brahman, or if you know such thing, by knowing which no need to know other things, no desire to know, no desire to enjoy other things. That is Brahman. In some Acharya's Sanskrit commentary, I will just tell. Because here Tatastha Lakshana has been told. Okay, I will explain what is Tatastha Lakshana. Just I will read. You will be very much familiar with the Sanskrit words. Brahmanaha sarva adhishthanatvāt tatastha lakshanena abhidhiyate श्लोकद्वयेन यल्लाभात् इत्यादि. यद ब्रह्म साक्षात्कार लाभात् परः लाभः न विद्यते, सर्वलाभानां तत्र एव अंतर्भावात्. यथा ब्रह्मानंदे क्षुद्र आनंद नामंतर भावः यत् सुखाद ब्रह्म अनुभव सुखाद परम सुखम नास्ति. Why? What is the hetu? निरतिशय सुखत्वात्. यद ज्ञानात् ब्रह्म साक्षात्कार ज्ञानात्, ब्रह्म साक्षात्कार ज्ञानात् परम ज्ञानम नास्ति. Why? What is the reason? मोक्ष हेतुत्वात् ब्रह्म इति तत् जान्यात्. That is Brahman. So what is that? I will explain little bit else. So yat labhat, after having gained, अपरः लाभः न अस्ति. There is no avashishta, no remaining portion to gain or to be gained. ब्रह्म लाभ ही परम पुरुषार्थ है. यत सुखात aparam sukham na asti. Because Brahman is Sukha Swarupa. All other small happiness, they are included inside the Brahmananda. Who got Rasgulla, there is no need to eat separate sugar, because Rasgulla is soaked into the sugar syrup. What Brihadaranya Shruti is telling, 4.3.32. Etasya eva anandasya anyani bhutani matram upajivanti. So we have learnt a lot that only ignorance, the delusion comes, and with the deluded mind, we see the difference in everything else. Even we see the different ananda also in different object, different happiness, different blessedness in different. It is our drum. They are all the small part of the supreme bliss, or just reflection. Suppose, we sometimes small mirror, if you put, and big mirror, another big mirror. So sun will be reflected there in every bit. Likewise, our other daily happiness to get, we hanker for. These are the part of the supreme bliss. Yad jnanat aparam jnanam nasti. In Mundakopanishad, in Chandogya Upanishad, we have discussed all the mantras where Svetaketu's father has asked him, have you known that? After knowing that nothing is nothing is remaining to be known. Have you known that? जिनको जानने से और कोई चीज जानने का वासना ही नहीं होता, जिनको सुनने के बाद और कोई चीज सुनने का वासना ही नहीं होता, जिनको देखने के बाद, इट्स समथिंग डिफरेंट, हाँ, देखना, और किसी चीज को देखने का जरूरत ही नहीं होता, तुमने उनको देखा है क्या, तुमने उनको जाना है क्या? दैट इज ब्रह्मन. दैट इज ब्रह्मन. And who knows Brahman? He is Brahman alone. Brahma Ved, Brahma Eva Bhavati. Here Bhavati, literal translation is becomes. There is no becoming. We have learned in last few days that one day I will become Brahman. Date of realization. When I am ignorant, verily ignorant, then also I am Brahman. When I realize the truth, I am Brahman. but I know my intrinsic nature. To express that idea, that bhavati bharv has been used, that the knower of Brahman become Brahman, but there is no becoming. To prove, to establish that knowledge of Brahman is the highest knowledge, Mundaka 3.2.9 has been stated it, Brahmaved, Brahmaiva Bhavati. And Tad Brahman iti avadharayet. Avadharayet means निश्चित रूप से जानना. ब्राह्मण को विद्वान कैवल्य अवस्था of योग सूत्र, that अवस्था जब लाभ होता है, that is Brahman. So in other slokas, Atma was Savishesha. Atma was Savishesha. Here it is Nirvishesha. And here Acharya is telling, may you know this Brahman. When we were discussing about Tvampada Vichara, when we were doing that, what we saw? That there also Avadharayet sloka is there. Can you remember? When we were talking about the Tvampada, here they talked about Atma. Here it is Mahavakya, great statement. Why? Because Brahman is there. There also Avadharayat, but here Upanishad is telling, who is telling Atma is Brahman? That individual consciousness is nothing but the supreme consciousness. Who will proclaim that? Only Shruti Mata. Yesterday we understood a lot. It was totally clear. If anybody has any doubt, please go to yesterday's class. When we run after any finite thing, then in our mind there is palpitation, you can tell, that what next? First we think that, yes, we will, suppose for a student, that I will pass my graduation. Then I will do my, after graduation is the aim. Then after graduation, what next? Masters. After masters, PhD. After PhD, good job. Afterwards, we think about settlement. It's a big word, settlement. We have to settle down in our life. So we marry. Do we get settled? The most unsettling event in life is settlement. Then we need a house. Then we need promotion in job. Then we need baby. To remove my aloneness, I married. But with wife or with husband, wife feels more alone, more lonely. What is the solution? We need a baby. Wow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, good. Then again, loneliness. Again, baby. For a particular community, loneliness is more, maybe. So they have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 children. What next? Started new business, side business. We have a lot of children, so we need some funds for them. Then tiredness. Then my mind start telling, when should I retire from everything else? Who has created all those drama? Who has scattered this net? Me, myself, alone. That is why our Mahatmas told. So what? Everyone will take sannyasa? This is the solution? See, sannyasa has no other alternative. You have to be a sannyasi. But it's not that you have to leave home, you have to leave your parents, you have to leave your children, your husband or wife. This is not the real meaning of sannyasa. Without internal sannyasa, moksha is not possible, first thing. Without proper knowledge, who comes or who creates his own households, his condition is horrible. Example, you know better than me. You know, when tender jackfruit, we cut, a lot of white sticky things are there, and it doesn't go. So our Mahatmas tell, before cutting the tender jackfruit, apply mustard oil or some stick oil in your hand, and then you cut the tender jackfruit. Then that adhesive, white adhesive will not affect you. So whenever we will start our household, we must have to have that knowledge. Who am I? Who is she? What is the connection between she and me? What is the purpose of that? That knowledge, gaining knowledge, is applying oil in the hand. It's wonderful if a boat is floating on the water. If the water inside the boat, think it is not a good thing. After gaining knowledge, who are in households, who are in family, who are in every activities, they are like floating into the water. So enjoy the water, enjoy the ride also. But without knowledge, doing samsara means crossing a river with a boat which has many holes. So to save my life, whole the journey I remain busy to repair the holes. And never get the happiness. Some person told that happiness is like the interval between life, the struggle in life. Advertisement break, but it's not true, because some 3-4 days back I went somewhere else and they switched on the television. I saw 2 minutes or 3 minutes news, 5 minutes advertisement. So advertisement time is now bigger than the main event. So that example will not be suitable right now for the Vedantic Acharya. When we studied, it was applicable, but not now. That I realized. Whatever the big post you hold in your company, in your office, in your house, there is a sense of incompleteness. But after Brahma Jnanam, after gaining Brahma Sukha, there is no other Sukham, blessedness, happiness to gain. If I am surrounded by the mineral water, suppose, so for having water, I no need to go anywhere else. Other sukhas, happiness comes from karma. They are karmaja sukham. And that is why there are 6 defects are there. AP, association with pain, association with time, AT, CD, causes dependence. Can you remember? And at last, what was there? DG, dissatisfaction guaranteed. Whatever the worldly pleasures you run after, at the end, DG. You know, in the police also, last rank is the DG, Director General of Police. So here also karmaja sukham, DG is guaranteed dissatisfaction. But Brahma sukham comes from knowledge. That is why it never goes. Indriyaja sukham, the sensual pleasure, whatever you do, people need break from it. But jnanaja sukham, the pleasure, the happiness, the blessedness out of knowledge, there has no break. This is the highest knowledge. Because all other knowledge is about object, idam. Only Brahman, Brahma Jnanam, the knowledge of Brahman is about the subject, aham. This is a subjective knowledge. So what does it mean? You tell na Brahma Jnan means Sarvajñatva. After gaining the knowledge of Brahman, there is no need to know anything else. There is no desire remaining to know these things. Why? What is the meaning of that? It means there is no sense of incompleteness. Because whole life we have some small regret that I wanted to be a doctor, but my father could not afford. Or I was not successful in the entrance examination. Anything else. But my friend, or I wanted to be a businessman. All such things, sense of incompleteness bothers our whole life. In my family life, when I was young, I did not get that. All other women got. I was an eligible candidate for that, but my husband did not allow. Sense of regretness, sense of incompleteness. In physical incompleteness, from the physical incompleteness, mainly we do Sharira Charcha, physical workout. Just think. From mental incompleteness, we make a bondage, we make a relationship. For intellectual incompleteness, we run after to know a lot of things. When a devotee dwell on Tatpada, devotee, not ignorant, devotee, bhakta. Dwell on Tatpada means Saguna Brahman, Brahman with attribute. He is in dual state, state of duality. But he meditates on God. He identifies with its totality. That he is the whole, I am the part. But a lot of parts make a whole, so I am with him. But when a Vedanti, a non-dual, realized soul, after doing a lot of Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, he remains in Nirguna, attributeless. Then he feels total oneness. Because in consciousness, there is no otherness. There is only one consciousness. The following 3 verses in this text, Atma Bodha, try to indicate the Supreme Brahman through Tatastha Lakshana. For example, to indicate the house of Mr. Gupta, we may say, that house on which the crow is perched in his house. The crow does not permanently sit there. The crow is not a part of that house. However, with the help of the crow, we distinguish Mr. Gupta's house from other similar houses. The house is not, of course, understood as the building without the crow on it. Even when the crow has flown away, one can recognize it amongst all other houses. This method of definition used in Vedanta is technically known as Tatastha Lakshana. The supreme experience is explained here as the greatest gain, the greatest knowledge, having gained which one can no more feel any sense of incompleteness. And so none will like to add any more gains to it. Having enjoyed the bliss of the self, none will strive for a greater bliss. Having known which, there will never be any thirst to know anything more. This state of absolute bliss, knowledge, is Brahman, the experience of the self. This alone is the greatest gain. All struggles to gain new acquisitions, to add fresh joys, and to strive for more knowledge indicate the sense of dissatisfaction felt by the imperfect. Imperfection, imperfection belongs to the individuality in us, the ego, the jiva. When the jiva rediscover or recognize itself to be the self, all imperfections it felt so far are understood by it to be the destiny of its matter envelopments, the body, mind, and intellect. And therefore, in that condition of spiritual rediscovery, realization or recognition, the realized one finds that all his struggles have ended. That in experiencing which we come to feel such an endless fullness in our lives is the supreme goal. Hari Om Tat Sat.